Joining me in the studio now, Shehzad Poonawalla, who speaks for the Congress, also Shiv Visvanathan, well-known sociologist, our political editor, national affairs editor, Javed Ansari is still with us, and we're going to get a perspective for him. In just a moment, we will be going across live, both to the Aam Aadmi Party office, as well as the Lieutenant Governor's residence, where the Aam Aadmi Party's former Chief Minister, Arvind Kejriwal, and the rest of his team are en route to submit their resignations. Shiv, if I could come to you first, what did you make of Arvind Kejriwal's speech? Symbolism perfectly in place. The same balcony where we saw all those marigold flowers raining down upon him, you know, when he recorded that spectacular victory 49 days ago. Same balcony, only the muffler is different. And he says, this is the war. This is war. It's all starting now. I'm not going to stop my fight against corruption. Shiv?
I'm very sympathetic, because everyone around me seems to think Arvind Kejriwal is a piece of history. I think he's making history anew. The Boy Scout, the poker player, and the political strategist are back in action for a new David and Goliath battle. He's creating a new morality play. It's a moral wager, because now it's Kejriwal versus Ambani. It's about a new kind of politics where BJP and Congress can be tarred with the same brush. I think a new democratic imagination is being suggested. He could be the first victim of his own politics, but he could also be a new kind of victor. One has to allow for that. Okay, it's in speeded up time.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the problems of Kejriwal. How long can he create this sense of continuous speed and invention? But at another level, yes, I think he has raised very important issues, not about the past, but about the very future of Indian democracy.
Shehzad, you know, the Congress is, comes out looking villainous in this latest piece that has played out today. The manner in which the Aam Aadmi Party will attempt to project it is they held us back from, acting in a tough way to bring in something that would make a difference in the war against corruption. Shouldn't the Congress be really concerned about that?
First of all, I usually respect what Shiv Visvanathan has to say, but I'm sorry to say that you lionize a person who's put his personal ambitions before his sense of responsibility to the citizens of Delhi. What you see as becoming a martyr or a political martyr seems to me only as an escapist method to escape from a large number of things that were catching up to him. Headlines Today itself ran an uninhibited campaign against Mr. Somnath Bharti and his doings, and obviously they were low on answers, and they were planning to take the easy route out instead of standing there and taking the tough questions on. You keep saying that the Congress Party is the villain. Please explain to me how are we the villains if we are saying to you that just follow the constitutional method of getting the bill through. If you think that there was anything wrong with our intentions, and had we hijacked this bill at the LG's office through the Home Ministry as was being suggested, it would have made us the villains any which ways, right? Okay. So why didn't he just follow the constitutional method? And you saw the proceedings of the House today. If you can tell me by putting your hand on your heart that the Speaker was acting in a non-partisan manner, then I would have nothing else to say.
We're going to get into the specifics of what happened today, both in the Assembly and outside in just a moment. I want to bring in Javed Ansari, our National Affairs Editor, for a quick perspective on this. Javed, heavy symbolism as far as martyrdom is concerned in today's speech, and that's precisely the kind of, the sense, the complexion that really Arvind Kejriwal was going for.
Look, Shiv, how can you and why should one deny a politician his chance to politics?
Of course.
I would hesitate to pass judgment either which way on the future of Mr. Arvind Kejriwal. But having said that, I cannot deny him the fact that he's chosen a very emotive issue. Corruption is an issue which disturbs people across the land. And just as he has chosen the Delhi police as an issue when he went on a dharna, maybe the method was wrong, but the idea was right. The issue was right. Here again is an issue which resonates with people, and time will only tell. Much will depend on how he carries on that campaign. But this is an issue that people will immediately attach themselves to, and therefore both the Congress and the BJP, it suits their interest to just wish him away. But he's not going away, and he's a force to reckon with, and they need to devise means of tackling the issues, answering the questions that he has raised, rather than just brushing him aside, because he can't be wished away.
So, Sunil Alagh, how have the events of the last 48 hours, beginning with that with that loud call for action against people like Mukesh Ambani and Veerappa Moily, and finally ending 48 hours later with this dramatic resignation from the same balcony where he had, you know, flowers flung at him. What does the Aam Aadmi Party emerge looking like, especially Kejriwal? Sunil Alagh.
Look, as far as I'm concerned, I have nothing against Kejriwal as a person. I have been against his manifesto from day one. If it is just corruption, then so is Sitaram Yechuri honest. The only reason why I didn't vote for CPM was that it's not just a question of honesty. I don't like his philosophy. I don't like the way he wants to run the government. I don't like the way he violates laws. I don't like the way he violates the constitution. And therefore, ultimately, at the end of the day, the nation will have to decide that do you want someone who is going to destroy the Indian constitution like Lenin did against the Tsars? It's a great way of doing it. It's communism. Mao Zedong has done it. So it's for India to decide now whether you want to go the Lenin and the Mao way. And those who want communism, by all means, vote for him now. I have disliked the philosophy. I do not agree with it. He spent 49 days outside the assembly. He got sworn in outside the assembly. He's resigned outside the assembly. He's been lying outside the assembly. He's done everything outside the assembly.
Yeah.
So now Anna Hazare told him, do not get into politics. We will do the good job of fighting corruption by have the Anna Hazare movement.
Yeah.
He said, no, I have to get into the mud. Now, having got into the mud, why has he jumped out? Stay in there, show for 5 years you have the staying power in Delhi. What is this nonsense of saying, I want to get out now. Oh, sorry, I'm going. And therefore, if you think he is good enough to have for governance, let him show that he has. I do not deny the fact that he's an honest guy, but this is not the way. I don't want to make India into Egypt. Okay. I don't want to make India into Syria. All those who support this are actually, I forget about Mr. Ambani, I'm not here for him. But there is a constitutional way of doing things. There is a law. But perhaps the earlier parties were not following it. You please follow it all the way. So I'm against the way he's done it. I'm very happy he's out of it. And I'm really hoping that the nation sees he's not worth voting for. He should be a conscience keeper outside parliament. Be an Anna Hazare. Be an NGO. Fight for the people from outside. Do not stand for elections if you don't know how to run a government.